As your CPG brand grows bigger, it's easy to lose touch of those that helped you gain success from the very beginning, your customers. But it doesn't have to be that way. If you are a CPG entrepreneur that has a slow and steady growth mindset, your initial business strategy will look something like this. You find a low minimum order quantity contract manufacturer, or in some cases, a commercial kitchen to self produce your CPG product. You sell through those initial product runs by launching a direct to consumer website and or set up a table at local farmers markets. You are also the one passionately evangelizing about your CPG product to anyone that will listen to you in real life or through your social media accounts. Because you are the one selling each of those units and talking to every one of your customers, you receive invaluable feedback that drives important improvements in your product and business strategy. You see higher quantities of sales from new customers and a higher frequency of sales from existing customers. This is exactly what you dreamed of. But then something naturally happens that has a divergent relationship with customer intimacy. In the CPG industry, scaling your brand usually involves onboarding more intermediaries. That can be in the form of retailers that now have relationships with your end customers or distributors that have relationships with your retailers that now have relationships with your end customers. The fact is that creating long term close bonds between customers and CPG brands isn't easy given the nature of the industry. The examples are plentiful within the CPG industry, but the bigger a brand gets, typically the further it wrongfully distances itself from those core customers. And that's becoming a bigger issue in today's market where customers expect CPG brands to add value to their lives beyond simply providing a great made to stock product. So, CPG brands must focus on building a company culture that rewards the creation and adoption of unscalable, customer centric strategies. The goal is to prioritize customer intimacy, even as your brand goes through the typical legacy growth construct of the CPG industry. For those not familiar with the term, customer intimacy is how attentive a company is in addressing its customers' needs. This business strategy increases customer loyalty and fosters customer driven revenue growth. And companies that excel in customer intimacy combine detailed customer knowledge with operational flexibility. It's essentially a twist on getting back to the roots of those early CPG brand building days when you had detailed customer knowledge because really you knew every one of your customers, and you had operational flexibility because of those simple manufacturing and sales channel strategies. While having intimate relationships with all customers isn't feasible when your CPG brand is doing tens of millions of dollars in annual revenue, you can achieve it by segmenting and targeting customers precisely and then tailoring strategies that match exactly the demands of those groups. That's because even though your customer base would struggle to fit into a sports stadium now, not all of your customers desire intimacy. Some just want to buy a great product that's available at the time of need for a fair price. Now, while there are tons of different customer intimacy building strategies across different departments, many of which have become more scalable by leveraging technological and social platforms, I want to focus on a specific product development one that I've dubbed Creatively Small. It effectively takes the natural tendency of CPG entrepreneurs to launch more and more products, turns it on its head, and makes it a more enriching strategy for customer intimacy purposes. While launch happy CPG entrepreneurs once had a credible strategy, today's ultra competitive market limits the value generation from that activity. Now, this doesn't mean that CPG brands should seize product innovation or new launches, but it does suggest that anything new should have a clear reason for existence. Creatively Small has a threefold reason for existence. Firstly, because the CPG brand will produce a small quantity, it provides a scarcity mechanism that will excite longtime customers that remember the days they knew about the brand before it got popular. These small batches will be sold through its direct to consumer website to give that kind of Disneyland shopping experience and marketed through insider channels that make customers that were able to attain those small batches feel special. Secondly, these small batches will give the CPG brand the chance to experiment with new flavors, product formulation variants, or entirely new formats. Since the distribution will be controlled, it will give the CPG brand the feedback loops it needs to consider iterative innovations or to greenlight full scale new product development. And then, thirdly, the creatively small strategy provides a unique partnership platform that can capitalize on new product trends that might be in adjacent but complementary categories or give the CPG brand a purpose driven mechanism, both of which would create customer intimacy. But while large spirits brands might be the most active in leveraging parts of this creatively small customer intimacy strategy, I want to shift this last piece of the content into a sort of Siete Family Foods case study that will really drive these points home. For those that do not know the CPG brand, Siete Family Foods is a Mexican American food brand that creates heritage inspired products made with better for you ingredients. While the CPG brand was only founded in 2014, it's available in tens of thousands of US stores and does over $250 million in revenue. So, at the size and scale of Siete Family Foods today, why does it have one of the strongest levels of customer intimacy in the CPG industry? It can be partly attributed to what the brand calls Siete Small Batch, which is a way for customers to experience the excitement of trying new creations straight from the brand's kitchen before anyone else knows what's cooking. Siete Family Foods uses its website to test almost monthly occurring new products before selling them in physical stores. These small batches could be as little as 100 units or 10 times that number. The goal of these small batch creations is to gather data on what types of foods the CPG brand's most loyal customers are highly interested in and use that data to pitch retailers on carrying that product in stores. But what I love most about Siete Small Batch is that they have integrated a purpose driven partnership element. In 2021, Siete Family Foods launched Wantos Fund to combat against the fact that Latino entrepreneurs are severely underfunded in the food space. While not all fund recipients are invited to collaborate in some ways with Siete Family Foods, a few have, such as Coco Andre, a chocolatier and horchata that made holiday season hot chocolate bombs with a grain free Mexican chocolate cookie inside. Beyond that purpose driven aspect, the Siete small batch strategy has started to create commercial success stories that form derivative small batch ideas. The grain free Mexican wedding cookie started out as a small batch offering in late 2020, proved popular enough to be introduced on grocery shelf stores 3 months later, and then today are used in a small batch ice cream flavor created in partnership with Frankie and Joe's. But I just want to end with some quick final thoughts. If you want to survive in the ever changing landscape of the modern CPG industry, putting your customers at the very center is the optimal business model. Creatively small and other customer intimacy building strategies are effective in increasing loyalty, brand advocacy, and in turn, profitability. But I hope you enjoyed this YouTube video. If you did, consider hitting the like button to support me. Also, help me get to my new short term goal of 3,000 subscribers by hitting that subscribe button. I'd love to see you join me on this journey, but we need to fix the fact that basically 80% of you that are watching this YouTube video right now are not subscribed to my channel, and that makes me extremely sad. But I do want to thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one.